Still no clients, no replies. Again, what am I doing wrong? I've watched hours of Alex Hormozi's content, and after pages and pages of notes, hours of late nights breaking it all down, it all boiled down to 5 moves that freelancers like us can use to finally get clients. Most of the advice out there don't apply to freelancers like us, but some parts you can start using right away. And yes, you can get your first 3 to 5 clients without paid ads. And this is the part of Alex Hormozi's playbook that actually works for freelancers like us. Now let's get into it. Your first move is to build a list of potential clients. Now there are a few key takeaways on Alex Hormozi's content that freelancers like us can implement right away. And the quickest one to act on is outreach. And it all starts with building your list. Now there are 2 ways that freelancers can do this. The first way is to use what you already have. And you can do that by looking at your inbox, your phone contacts, and your social media. And even if you think, I don't know anyone, you probably do. So what you do is to go into your contacts, your email history, and export all of them. Then go to your Instagram, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, and export all of those that you've DM'd with in the past. And once you pulled all of that information, put them in the spreadsheet. Now, quick pros and cons on this. Now, this works really well if you want to get clients locally. Like, for example, if you are a social media manager or SEO manager and you want to help clients locally, like in restaurants, in gyms, and med spas, then yeah, because your contacts are likely within your local area. So these people are actually warm-ish. And one advantage of local clients is they trust people within their community. But here's the downside. If you're like me who wants to serve international clients where the rates are higher, but you don't know a lot of business owners, this can run dry pretty quickly. Which brings us to option number 2. Build your list from scratch through outreach. And this means identifying who you want to work with, even if you don't know them yet, aka your dream clients. So first, identify who they are. So for me, since I have a healthcare background and I'm very familiar with the field, my dream clients are healthcare providers, health tech founders, health and wellness brand owners, and professionals running their own private practice. So what I do is to find them through Google searches, Instagram, LinkedIn, and niche directories. Then I plug them into a Notion database with columns with their information like their name, their email addresses, business, socials, and contact information. But of course, the caveat is this takes a lot of time, but it gives you more in control of who you want to potentially work with, because you're not just waiting for referrals or scrolling, waiting for someone to show up. You're actually building a pipeline on purpose. Now, of course, if you want to get clients fast, like within the week or within 2 weeks, then go where people already have the intention to hire help. That means doing outreach to platforms like in UpWork, Fiverr, Indeed, or LinkedIn job search. And back when I started, this was the easiest path. These potential clients are already actively raising their hands looking for someone like you. So you don't need to convince them that they need help because they already know. Versus the cold outreach where you have to go through all these hoops to identify, let's say, a gap in their business. You have to build trust and educate them of what you can do. So if speed is your priority, start with intent-based platforms first, and then layer on with the long-term outreach. Next move, we need to build that connection. So you built your list. Now what? Next is to start messaging people. It's uncomfortable, but we have to do it. But here's the part where most freelancers mess up. So when you do outreach, do not open with your service. Do not send a paragraph about what you do, and do not link your portfolio right away. Instead, what you're going to do is to start being human. Don't be weird. People by nature do not want to be sold to. So here is what Alex recommends. You look at the recent post, find something relatable, and message them like what a friend would. And if they reply, use what he calls the ACA framework. Acknowledge, compliment, and ask. Let's take a quick look at how he explains it.
For example, I can acknowledge and say, oh, so you have 2 kids. You're gonna compliment them about the thing. So it's like, wow, you have 2 kids. You must be a supermom. Working full-time and having 2 kids? When we go to ask, we're gonna tie our ask to the compliment we just gave them. Then we transition to whatever type of question that's gonna lead them to the service we sell. If I was selling weight loss, I'd be like, hey, so you're a supermom. How do you have time to eat right and work out?
Notice how he acknowledges something specific, follows it up with a compliment, and then transitions smoothly into a question. The ask here doesn't feel forced because it's tied to a compliment. It feels more like a connection and not a sales pitch. Now, what if you're doing this with cold leads? You know, the people you found on Instagram and LinkedIn who do not know you at all. And this is where I shift the approach. Instead, I build visibility first. I start by engaging with their posts intentionally, not the lazy, oh, oh, I love this, awesome, or fire emoji type of comments. But when I comment, I try to comment in a way that adds something to the conversation. And I do this by sharing a quick key takeaway, insight, or even a thoughtful question in the comments. Why? Because if you start showing up consistently with value, eventually they'd start noticing. They will like your comments. They might even comment back. Heck, they might even follow you. And they'll see your name more than once. This is called creating touch points. You're warming them up before you get into their DMs. And only after they've seen me a few times and there's some sort of interaction that happened, that's when I send a DM. But even then, I still don't pitch. Instead, I start a real casual conversation. Ask something about what they posted, react to a recent story, or ask how something's going. The goal isn't to sell something right away, but it's to build rapport. Because when the timing is right and you've earned their attention, your message won't feel like a cold pitch. It'll feel like a natural next step. Move number 3, referrals. So now you're in the conversation. You build rapport and now they're replying. So what's the next move? So according to Alex Hormozi, you still don't sell. Instead, you ask for referrals. That's right. You don't ask them to be your client yet. Instead, you ask them if they know anyone who might need help with the thing that you do. You're not selling, but instead you're asking them a favor. Here's how Alex puts it.
You're just asking them if they know anybody. And since you're friends with them and since you're contacts, you're asking them for a favor. You're not asking them to buy from you. This should make you not feel weird about messaging people. If they say, hey, I'd like to find out more, now what they have done is they've transitioned from a lead to an engaged lead.
It's subtle, but smart. Because when you ask this way, it removes all pressure. They don't feel like they're being pitched to. Instead, they feel like they're helping. And the best part, you're not getting ignored. You're opening up possibilities. Now, what if you're doing this with cold outreach? Same principle. Even if someone doesn't know you well, you don't jump straight to your offer. So when you're in a conversation, you insert and ask, hey, I know this might be random, but do you know anyone who is looking for help with insert the specific problem you solve? And if they say yes and send someone your way, then boom, this person is now warm-ish. And then you can reach out to that person and say, hey, name, I just spoke to your friend, insert name here, and she mentioned you might need help with insert problem you solve. Wanted to see if it makes sense to chat. But of course, you still need to personalize that message. Always check their profile first. Mention something they're working on and tie it back to the actual help you offer. So the bottom line is asking for referrals builds trust without pushing the sale. And sometimes the best clients don't come directly from who you message, they come from who they know. Now let's talk about the next move, the gift cards. And this is something that I've actually done in the past with surprisingly good results. Alex calls it the gift card play. And this is about giving people an irresistible reason to refer you without making your service look cheap. Let's say hypothetically that you have a service that normally costs $500. What you could say is, I'm giving away 2 $400 project credits to new clients this month. Do you know anyone who might need help with insert your service here? It's not a full discount, but it's rather strategic. This is because it creates urgency and it sounds generous. And it helps you reach new leads without lowering your perceived value. When I did this before, but slightly different from Alex Hormozi's, I did 100% free. Before I tell you what it is, I think this would be great for beginner freelancers who always say, I don't have anything to put in my portfolio. Well, this is how. So what I did was I offered 100% discount on one of my services, but only my existing client referred a lead who actually claimed it and became a paying client. So here's how it worked. First, I told my client, hey, I'm offering a free insert service here to new clients this month. If you know anyone who needs this free service and they say yes, then become a paying client, I'll gift you the same service 100% free. And then the new lead got my offer. And if that lead converted to a paying client, my current client got rewarded with a free service. And before you say it, yes, it was risky. And yes, it's still risky. And yes, it was a lot of work up front. But here's what happened. That free lead, they became a paying client for a year and a half. So my free service was $350. And this was not one of my main offers, by the way. It was an offer that's valuable, but it's the lowest in all of my packages. So that's $700 of time and effort for 2 projects. However, However, that lead ended up paying me $6,300 for 18 months, excluding other services on top of it. So was it worth it? To me, absolutely. And I didn't just gain revenue. I also gained a solid case study, a testimonial, and future referrals from both clients. The key here isn't to give something away for free to get clients. The key is being strategic on how you structure the ask and making sure that when you do give something away, you're setting up a long-term ROI. And if that lead didn't end up converting to be a paying client, well, you just lost $350 worth of your time. Just $350 because your current client did not get the free service because the lead didn't turn into a paying client. You also get a testimonial and you get to have that experience and case study that you can put into your portfolio. Now, there's one idea that really stuck with me from Hormozi, and it applies to freelancers more than you think. The final move is what he calls the rule of 100. So if you do 100 of the same thing every day, two things will happen. Number one, you get better with it. And number two, you'll start seeing results from volume alone. And this is so true because everyone, when starting out, chances are you're not good at what you do. So if you put in those reps by doing the thing 100 times, ultimately you'll get better at it. So if you're serious about growing your freelance business or your agency, invest your time in it. So start doing the steps we talked about 100 times. Build your list, reach out, build connections, ask for referrals, repeat. Now, if this gave you clarity and if you want more breakdowns like this for freelancers, make sure you stick around and I'll see you in the next one.